Welcome to the Nausea River podcast. I'm Theo Morgan, and even after last week's episode of Drive-By Bukkake, I'm not done with dumb metal. You read the title. This is Bonginator. Anyways, how about you introduce yourselves?
I'm Eric. This is Jack, and we're in Bonginator.
Nice.
We got our album Retrodeath coming out next week. It's looking sick. We just got these vinyls in the mail.
Oh shoot!
And I'm really stoked on how they came out. Yeah.
Is it just like black vinyl?
No, we got colors, maybe.
Ooh. Meet Eric Thorsten and Jack Shanahan of Bonginator. It's been a good year for the band. Multiple nationwide tours, growing their online audience, and a new album to boot. I'm recording this voiceover right after the release of Retrodeath. And while I have, at minimum, a lingering fondness for any band I invite on the show, Retrodeath blew me away when I least expected it. It's really good, guys. It's death metal with lots of synthwave interludes and a tender kiss of hardcore and groove metal. Now, Rate Your Music so far really disagrees on this one, but they've never gotten Bonginator. And you know what? I've never gotten Panopticon, and that site glazes them pretty hard. Austin from Panopticon seems like a really good soul, though. And after talking to Jack and Eric, I think Bonginator are a good bunch, too. They just want to spread the joy of the 1980s, horror films, and stoner humor. Don't believe me? Well, it's a long interview. It goes in weird places for sure. I did what I could with the audio since Eric's mic was really quiet. And I hope you enjoy. Nice. I'll ask more about the upcoming album later. But first, I always ask bands to start with their origin. How'd you guys begin?
It was back in 2020. I just kind of made a bunch of death metal demos for like a project. I didn't know what I wanted to do with it yet. And then I started making like a bunch of synthwave too at the same time and realized I can put them together. And that's kind of how Bonginator started. And it was just me. And then I sort of like got the band together and we started playing shows.
Yeah, I've heard the 2020 origin story quite a few times.
It was a big boom for a lot of people just, locked up and
and if there was a year for it to happen, like 2020 isn't a bad one because at that point we have technology to program instruments and they don't sound awful.
Oh, true.
Yeah,
They only sound a little awful.
It's really accessible now too. Like anyone can just, watch YouTube videos and start making music. And I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I wasn't even thinking of that angle. I guess, like, I've heard the 2020 origin story from people who are, like, already musicians, and they're like, well, I couldn't do rehearsal.
Well, I'm saying, like, a lot of people are already musicians, but then, like, it's really easy to just learn how to record and, like, program instead.
Yeah. I think for me, I come from the perspective of being someone who, like, doesn't get music. I have my boyfriend explain theory to me all the time, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, what's a time signature again?
I feel that.
So here's something that's pretty funny. You are the first, like, frequent national touring group I've interviewed. I've interviewed people who've gone on national tours, or at least, like, kind of extensive ones. But, like, I know you had that long tour with Frog Mallet at the beginning of the year.
Yeah, back in January.
Yeah.
And you have one upcoming. But I just I want to know, like, the basics. Like, what is it like being on the road for so long?
It's like our favorite thing to do.
Okay.
A lot of bands have this, like, a lot of the time when I talk to people talk about touring, like, as if it's a chore or like, but for us, I find it's the opposite. Like when we're on tour, we're kicking it, we're having fun. And then when we're at home, it kind of sucks.
Yeah, it definitely takes the right kind of person to be able to be out that long. And we do have the benefit. We have our school bus that we can sleep on. So that's pretty roomy. Yeah, it's a little easier than trying to do it, jamming everybody into a van. So that, that takes some of the stress off. And there are tough days, but like Eric said, we have a bunch of guys that just really love being out there, and I think we're just happiest when we're on the road.
And we weren't always in the school bus. I mean, we did a bunch of tours that were, in a minivan and then in a short bus, and then what we have now is definitely like a luxury.
You know what? I thought the bus was a prop.
Oh no!
I thought maybe
No,
like one of you was a bus driver, and you're like, we're saving money, guys. We're saving money on the photo shoot.
Works.
Come
and,
to work.
we use it. It's great.
That's awesome. Like, I think you're the first. I'm sure there are other bands who've done it or thought of it, but you are the first one I've heard of who's used like a legit school bus.
We have some friends who use it. I know like Goat Whore used one for the longest time.
Oh, so, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a lot of bands do it. It has its pros and cons, but
Yeah.
I really like that we have a very recognizable vehicle. Mm-hmm. So like when people pull up to our shows, like they know we're there. They like to take pictures with it. One downside to that is like a lot of people will kind of think that because it's a school bus, it's like a toy, and then like we've like walked up to our bus after a show to find people like trying to get on it, just like drunk strangers, not realizing like that's the same as if you like went up to a car and just started shaking the door, like you wouldn't do that to a regular car.
Yeah. I guess I have two questions related to that, knowing that's like your real touring vehicle. One is how much did you gut it?
So like most of the seats are out of there, and then we put up bunk beds. And then like we're always kind of building it and fixing it. But the way we have it right is like there's a couple of seats towards the front. In the back is my bed, and it's up on a loft. Mm-hmm. And so that way when you open the back of the bus, there's like a trunk space for storage. And then my bed sits on top of that. And then there's 3 bunk beds through like the center of the bus. And then up in the front is like there's some storage. And then we have 2 seats you can kind of hang out on. And then we often use like lawn chairs, foldable lawn chairs. Those come in handy a lot.
Do they slide around at all?
Not if you're sitting in them.
Sitting on it, it's fine.
True.
And then that's the cool thing. When you're done, you can just fold it up and put it away. And then when we sometimes we'll have like a crew member, like a merch guy, and we have like sleeping pads that fit on like in the center of the floor.
Okay. And the other one is, are you okay with disclosing how much it costs to buy a school bus?
Yeah, so this bus costs around $8,000 for the whole thing, and when you consider like other touring vehicles and the size of it, like it's a fucking steal. Other cool stuff, like it has for those of y'all that know anything about this, it has a Cummins V6 engine, and we got it at 150,000 miles, which for a diesel vehicle that's pretty like brand new. And say it's rated to go like up to like 1.5 million miles or so. It's got an Allison transmission. Yeah, it's a really nice vehicle.
Yeah, that's like 8,000 is cheaper than you can get a car for, like even a used car in a lot of cases.
Yeah. Right? So,
yeah.
Yeah, it's a really good deal on that.
Although
the main issue we've been having though is with insurance. It's very difficult to insure.
Okay. Did you have the same difficulty with the short bus?
It wasn't as difficult with the short bus, but we did have similar problems.
And how much did the short bus cost? I'm just curious.
The short bus was $5,000, but we bought the short bus like it was slightly converted already, and so it came with like a mattress, and it was slightly built up, and then it also came with solar panels.
Oh, okay.
We still have those in the new ones. We put them on the new one. And so in the new bus, like we're able to like watch TV and stuff and like charge our phones and.
Yeah, it's one because like, we're not solar powered vehicles yet. So I was going to ask like, okay,
Oh no, the vehicle's not solar powered.
No, it's just like, okay.
Battery that
so you can
use for like appliances. And I think like, what we also were able to do when we got the bus, it came with like there was a bunch of stuff in there that like we're never gonna use. So like it came with a Wi-Fi router that's like was super outdated and like a CB radio and all this stuff, where I've been able to like cut the power for that and then just put in like a power inverter with some AC outlets on it.
Cool. So what would you say are your essentials for being on the road for so long, besides like having a place to sleep?
So I recently made a video about this. Um, I'd say it's really important to bring like a toothbrush and toothpaste.
Hmm.
And that's really good because it basically gives you access to brushing your teeth whenever you want to. And then a towel is really good for when you shower and want to dry off. And then um, the really big one that no one's going to tell you about, though, is you want to bring at least one extra pair of socks in case the socks you're wearing get like dirty or wet. And then you have a clean one that you can change into.
Yeah. How do you handle showers and laundry
Planet Fitness.
for the laundry too?
For no, just
Yeah.
for showers.
For laundry, we'll usually like there'll be a day like maybe once every 1 or 2 weeks that we all kind of have to do laundry, and then we'll either go to a laundromat or a friend's house, whichever is more convenient.
Yeah, and I was figuring that the shower answer is going to be Planet Fitness just because
That's
like
the way to go.
I was doing a lot more traveling last year and I was just like, do I do the Planet Fitness Universal membership?
It's good. It's worth it.
Yeah, it pays for itself pretty fast.
Yeah, and then you could use the massage beds too. Those are nice. I do like to work out, and um, yeah, it definitely comes in handy.
Yeah, I just didn't know if I'd just be like the lazy ass who doesn't go there to work out. I just use the lockers and showers.
No, no one even pays attention
You
to
know,
that.
they're still cool about that. I like because a lot of the time I'll walk in with like Crocs, and
Yeah.
they'll be like, "You can't wear those," and I'll be like, I'm just gonna shower and leave," and they're like, "Okay, that's cool."
Yeah. Do they still do like Pizza Fridays?
At Planet Fitness?
Not
Yeah.
that we've been to.
No, I wish.
I do
No.
remember that though.
Yeah, it was
That would be really
some
cool.
locations did bagels and like, if you were a touring
It's
band,
counterintuitive for like a gym, you know?
yeah, I mean
You
it
get people
is.
there that are like trying to stick to their diets and eat
Yeah.
healthy, and then it's just like a free pizza.
I think
Trying to keep you going for longer.
I want fruit. I think Fruit Friday. I'd join Planet Fitness just for that.
Yeah. Fruit Friday.
Yeah, like
It's a big bowl.
Fiber
like one of those
fr-
paintings of a bowl of fruit.
yeah, Fiber Friday.
Wow, that's good. I like that. Everyone's taking big solid turds.
On this next tour, we've decided we're gonna adopt Chinese Friday. We're gonna get Chinese food on
Nice.
Friday.
I didn't know about this. This is the first I'm hearing about Chinese Friday, but that's exciting.
I wanted to have more like weekly rituals. Chinese Fridays.
I'm into that. I'm excited
You can
about
pretty
that.
much get Chinese food anywhere.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Do you get enough fiber on the road?
I make a very big point of it, and we
Okay.
do eat well on the road. And I remember one part where we were on the road with Frog Mallet, and they like, we were getting paid the same, but they had significantly more money than us. And I was like running the numbers, and it's literally because like they were just getting fast food all the time. And like, we like to have like nice meals. Sometimes I'll order sushi before, because that's like the only thing, sushi is the only thing that I'm able to eat like right before a set. And I think most of the band is on the same page with that. It's like, you don't want to eat something super heavy right before a set, but sometimes you're like, you have to eat something because you haven't eaten all day. But I do make it a point to like, stay like somewhat moderately healthy. We'll go a few days of eating like fucking garbage, and then we'll all kind of feel it.
We gotta introduce mandatory Metamucil in the morning. Like everybody takes a cup.
Metamucil sometimes. It's great. I also like, I'll eat like some canned vegetables. I'll eat like a can of green beans.
People rag too much on canned vegetables. Like they're not the best tasting.
I agree.
But like,
I think our generation has seriously ignored canned goods.
I feel like the water in it turns people off. Like I
Yeah.
feel like for some reason they
I
think
think
it's
I think we're just a bit spoiled.
yeah, I'm really
'Cause-
into canned peas. I like canned beets and green beans. I like some tinned fish. I'm really into tuna and like salmon, and then I tried getting more into sardines. I couldn't really do it. Um,
One of my favorite, one of my favorite travel meals from last year. If I was near Trader Joe's, they have these I hope they still have them. It was the giant white beans and tomato sauce
oh
because
yeah,
they're
they have
not,
those
because
big,
like they're, if you don't have a microwave, they're not gross to eat out of the can.
right?
Not completely
They have, I
anyways.
really like they sell cans of stuffed grape leaves that are really really good.
I've had, yeah, actually Trader Joe's has good ones. I've had other canned
Yeah.
grape leaf brands where it's just like nah.
And then what we just did a tour with King Parrot, and they're from Australia, and they
Mhm.
got me really into Vegemite, and now like Vegemite's a staple in my diet. I eat it all the time.
I was wondering what your fiber answer is going to be because I feel like with being Bonginator, you either have been on the road enough that
Oh yeah,
that like you know how to take care of yourselves, or you would have been like so stoned you're like like your mind would have been blown by me saying Metamucil.
you feel it. You feel it when
Yeah.
like you've
Yeah.
been eating garbage for a few days, and like you're like, okay, I need to eat an actual meal. And yeah, we'll get like salads and shit. Everyone has their like their things that they prefer.
Hmm.
One thing that's great, we started going to Culver's a lot in the Midwest,
Hmm.
and for the most part, Culver's sells like probably some of the most unhealthy fast food.
Yeah, they're literally
Hmm.
called butter
Yeah,
burgers.
Yeah.
they're
And the
greasy.
frozen custard.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But what I really like about it is you can get a side of steamed broccoli, which like a lot of fast food places don't really have anything like that.
Hmm. Yeah, I
Um,
think the closest might be like you can get broccoli and cheddar at Wendy's, especially like on the baked potatoes.
yeah,
Yep.
but
Yeah, I
yes,
won't I will not trash talk the Wendy's baked potato.
but I can give you like our top five places to eat on tour. Um, I recently did a video. I ranked them, but I fucked it up. I fucked it up. Left out Skyline.
Yeah, Skyline Chili is an important stop for us. That does
Ooh,
not
that's a
fall under the healthy eating.
it's not healthy. It's also very controversial.
Oh, dude, but have you
But
ever tried it?
no, but I will say at home, like I would do the chili and pasta combo all the time.
It's one of the greatest foods that we come across. It's life changing. I mean, I remember Jack was like
Yeah,
really hard
I
against
was
it.
anti-Skyline just because of the way it looked. It looks, and I still, I say this still, it looks like food made by like a 5-year-old that you let loose in the kitchen. Like it does not look appetizing whatsoever.
I mean, like it just looks like spaghetti and meat sauce to me, and like I don't
That's
eat meat
exactly how I would
anymore,
describe it.
but
I think
like
what really put me off was the cold cheese on top of that. I was like, what the
That's
fuck
fun.
is this combination? I get
it
that
warms
now.
up. It warms up. That's the point.
I didn't really consider that
But
before.
the first couple bites when the cheese is still cold is the best. When it starts to become
Hmm.
homogeneous, it's not as good, but it is part of the experience. Um, in fact, what you're supposed to do, the real way to eat it is you kind of cut it up like a cake. Like you cut
Hmm.
sections of it. But okay. So number five, I'm trying to remember. Number five like might be like Culver's or In and Out. I'd say they're tied with each other because of how regional they are, but In and Out's like a very limited menu. Um, and we've toured with a lot of people that have dietary restrictions,
Hmm.
and all they can really eat is the animal fries, but those still bang.
They
Um,
do.
Number four would probably have to be Skyline. It's like one of our favorite foods, but it's like it's only in one state.
Hmm.
Then number three is Wingstop, which is a very recent addition. Um, Wingstop bangs. I love wings. They have really good wings. Their blue cheese dressing, I drink it. Like I'll finish the wings, then I'll drink the rest of the
Every
wings.
time.
Yeah, there's
Every
something
time.
about it, man. Um, but what's really great about Wingstop is that they're open till like 1 most of the time, and they don't have a drive-through. So like we're in the bus. And so it's really important for us to find places that we can eat at that don't have drive-throughs that late at night. Because right, our clearance is like 12 feet.
Hmm.
Um, Number two is Bucky's 100%. Um, and like we don't fuck around when it comes to Bucky's. We like Jack has the.
I'm like stocked up. Yeah, you should see all the stuff. I go in now like looking for new stuff to get, but I already have most of it.
Yeah.
But I will get a brisket sandwich every goddamn time because that is one of the best brisket sandwiches I have ever had.
I get a barbecue sandwich. They have this loaded baked potato salad that I really grown to like, and then I'll get the blue coconut soda. That's my favorite soda they have. They also have like these snacking olives I really like. And then like we'll stock up on snacks. They have like really good nuts and trail mixes and stuff. But the other part about Buc-ee's, I mean, you walk into it. Have you ever been to one?
No, I haven't.
It's ginormous. It's like it's like walking into a Walmart, but it's just a huge gas station and they have like fucking anything you can imagine. But they also have like most of the time they have the lowest gas prices that we can find.
Yeah, it's always a good deal there.
And yeah, getting the bus in there is no problem at all. But then number one is Cookout. Like when we're in that region, which is like Georgia to like Virginia on the East Coast, like Cookout is like 3 meals a day. The only thing we'll eat out there. And it really just comes down to the price. I mean, the food is great, but there have been times like I'm able to feed a whole 6-person crew for like $50.
That is pretty cool. I've never heard of that chain.
Cookout, it's incredible.
It's super regional. Like
Yeah.
I didn't know about it. And I've been going to Virginia like most of my life to see family. I didn't know about Cookout until the band brought me there for the first time, like a little over a year ago, maybe.
Yeah, they have really good milkshakes. It's like, yeah, Virginia, the Carolinas, Georgia.
Yeah, Wikipedia is giving me, it's all southern states and like
yeah, like
West
southern
Virginia.
East Coast.
Yeah, West Virginia and Kentucky are there, depending on how south you consider them.
Yeah, it's a little bit spread out, but that's where you're gonna find the most of them, isn't that little
Yeah.
stretch along the East Coast?
Yeah, because like Buc-ee's has quite a cult following. It's even more than a cult following. And like it seems to be the favorite of every touring band.
If you spend like 5 to 10 hours on the road every day, Buc-ee's is like Disneyland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have the cleanest bathrooms. Anything you could want for a snack or for lunch or dinner, like it's there. They have it.
Think about it, like gas stations are like so important for any touring band. And it's like we see more gas stations than venues.
Yeah.
So like when we find a good one, it really means something. And then obviously when we go to Buc-ee's, like it's going to be a great time. I'll say one particular gas station that I love. It's somewhere in the middle of Nebraska, and it's run by these Indian people, and they serve banging Indian food.
It's insane. Yeah.
It's just a gas station, but then on the other side, there's like an ordering window where you can get Indian food, and like it's really fucking good too. And I just remember like it really just stuck out to me because of the location. It's literally middle of nowhere. And we happened to go there twice. Like the first time we just needed to stop at a gas station and we discovered it. And then the second time, again, we just needed to stop by the gas station. And I was like, guys, this is the fucking Indian place. So yeah, that's a very good find. Somewhere in Nebraska.
Yeah, I've heard that it's definitely like a west of the Mississippi thing, but I've heard a lot of people say, like the best Indian food you'll get is going to be at a random gas station.
I wouldn't expect it. Like,
Me
I don't-
neither.
like if the gas station isn't Buc-ee's, I kind of assume the food's gonna like give me diarrhea later.
Yeah.
But no, like this was as good as any Indian food I've ever had. It was really up there.
Yeah, I think like you don't see that many gas stations with like, full service or even any kind of service kitchens here. Like I was in Maine recently and I was my boyfriend and I were just getting gas and there was a kitchen in this gas station. It was closed because it was Indigenous Peoples Day, but it was there.
Was it by any chance the mobile gas station in Lebanon, Maine?
No, I don't think nope. Hey, not today.
We've been to that one a few times.
It was. I don't think so. I want to say it was like near Bangor or something.
Oh, okay, you were way up there.
Oh yeah, we were somewhat.
Yeah, gas stations in like other parts of the country put us to shame. Growing up, in New England, I thought like Cumberland Farms was like the creme de la creme of gas stations. And then you go down south or out west, and you got Sheetz, you got Buc-ee's, you got Wawa. We're not crazy about Wawa, but I'd still put Wawa above Cumberland Farms.
I know a lot of, as I said, like I haven't interviewed anyone who's like truly toured nationally. I've interviewed tons of people who've been to Pennsylvania, and everyone has some opinions on Wawa or Sheetz.
We love Sheetz.
Yeah, and also like depending on how old you are, Cumbies used to be even worse. There was so little there, like in the 2000s and early 2010s.
Oh yeah.
Sheetz is great because they have a lot of options, but I don't think I've ever been to a place that's more consistently fucked up my orders than Sheetz.
Okay.
You can't really blame them. I mean, it's always like there's like 2 or 3 16-year-olds there juggling like dozens of orders.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it hits when it hits.
Yeah, I had a teacher back in high school. He was originally from Pennsylvania, and like he had been living in Massachusetts for I don't know, ever since he went to college. And he was an old guy, so this is like 40 years at least. And he still absolutely loved Sheetz coffee. Like he couldn't shut up about. He had the Sheetz coffee mug.
Yeah,
he
I really like their coffee.
Like every time he went back home for whatever reason, he's like, I got my Sheetz coffee. I drank like 4 cups of it that day.
I don't really do coffee. We're big on energy drinks on the road.
The first time I went to Sheetz, I just got the coffee, and that did really stand out to me. I was like, damn, this is really good coffee.
Sometimes I'll have a coffee, but most of the time it'll give me diarrhea, so try to...
I mean, all coffee gives me diarrhea, so who cares?
I don't get it from a lot of the energy drinks. I like the Ghosts.
I do love the Ghosts. So
yeah.
It's all right to do poop facts on this episode. It's not the caffeine in coffee that makes you poop. It's some other compound, because if you drink a decaf, you're still gonna poop.
Exactly. Yeah.
If you're sensitive to that.
That's why the energy drinks don't make me poop. They'll make me pee.
Yeah.
There's usually creatine or niacin in them.
They'll make you pee because there's water in them.
Oh yeah. But if it has creatine or niacin, that'll make you have to pee.
Yeah.
Especially niacin. Red Bull has a lot of niacin. What I used to do, if I was smoking too much weed, instead of taking a tea break, you can drink 3 Red Bulls, because again they have niacin in them, and then wear a bunch of sweatpants and sweatshirts, and then go walk around for an hour. And then you sweat a bunch and you pee out a lot. You also have to drink a lot of water, but it flushes out a good amount of your system. Yeah, actually, that's actually a great women's health tip, because I get so much water weight at a certain time of the month. Oh yeah. I'd say creatine too, and I know my mom does, and my mom loves it. But creatine does make you pee a lot. But all it does is it puts water into your muscles.
Mm-hmm.
It displaces a lot of water, so you don't hold as much. You don't get so bloated from drinking a lot of water.
Yeah.
But it does make you pee a lot. That's the one downside.
And before we go off this topic, favorite Ghost Energy flavor?
Oh, Welch's grape.
Yes.
Yeah, 100%. I'm a big grape guy. I like default grape flavors. I get the grape swishers every time we smoke blunts. A big grape guy.
Do you have an opinion, Jack?
Oh man, so I've only had one Ghost. Normally I go for the Rain energy drinks. Oh, I only do them when I have a long night drive.
Okay. Which is probably a lot healthier than whatever Eric and I are doing.
I find so there's the energy drinks split into 2 categories for me. There's and it's indica and sativa, right? One of them's the brain energy, and then one's body energy. So Rain and Celsius and Red Bull and Monster kind of fit both, but those are body ones. I would take those for a pre-workout, right? And then stuff like Ghost or G Fuel. Those fit into the brain one. I'll take one of those if I want to focus on something.
I just go with whatever is the cheapest. I'll be cheapest per ounce at least.
I really like the Rains. I had a buddy of mine suggest them to me before a really long drive once. He's like, yeah, it gives me energy and it doesn't hurt my stomach. Because that was a problem for me. I would try like Bang or like one like C4 or one of the other really strong ones, and it would just mess my stomach up really bad.
Yeah.
C4 makes me itchy. That's why I try not to drink them because like they have like it makes me itchy. I thought, oh man, am I allergic to C4? And then I looked it up and no, it's like they're like, oh, that itching means it's working. It's just like,
Yeah, I don't want
what's
that.
it?
But I would say favorite flavor for both the Rain and the Guz, they both share this flavor, is the orange creamsicle flavor.
It's a good one.
Okay, I had a period where I really liked Rain and I did like Orange Creamsicle. I then realized like with Rain and Bang, I only liked flavors that had some sour component to them.
See, I
Like
can't do the sour ones. 'Cause I'll get heartburn like crazy.
that's understandable.
Yeah. And then when we're like on the road, I really don't fuck around with that. Like when I'm at home, I'll eat a lot of spicy food and like
Hmm.
pickles and stuff. But one of the worst feelings is getting acid reflux while doing vocals.
Oh my God, yeah.
And so I try to avoid that at all costs.
All right. So you've been on quite a few tours this year. Well, at least you had Frog Mallet and then
This
King
year's been like
Parrot.
honestly been kind of a slow year for us. Um,
Yeah.
But
it-
the tours we have gotten have been pretty long.
yeah.
Yeah, it was like I was looking at your like at the beginning of the year, I did end up going to the Boston show, but I was looking at the Frog Mallet Bonginator poster and I'm like these like who's sending these Boston boys to across the country?
Well, we elect to do that. My goal with that one, I really wanted to get Frog Mallet out to the West Coast, because Frog Mallet doesn't tour nearly as much as us. But
Yeah, they get more local opening slots. So like
yeah,
They do a lot around here.
and
yeah.
but I really wanted to get them out to the West Coast, and so yeah, so we started that tour in Boise, and Boise's one of our favorite cities. We do crazy in Boise.
It's I think some of this might be due to Idaho getting like a pretty big population surge in recent years, but like you'd never you'd never think like, oh, that's a prime tour spot for, a smaller metal band, but like
For
so
some
like I
reason, they love fucking Bonginator,
yeah,
and we have some.
I've heard that from a few bands.
Yeah, it's really crazy how tight the scene is there.
Those B markets in like the middle of nowhere, that's
Hmm.
where you will get some of your best shows because you get a lot of these kids that are still really like repressed and they're living in maybe
Hmm.
like a really right-wing area, and they're pissed off, you know?
Yeah.
So sudden the death metal show rolls around and these kids are stoked to fucking get out and throw down and let loose because it's like one of the only places they can do that where they live.
That's the ironic part is like Idaho is probably the most like archaic when it comes to
Hmm.
gun laws. Of like we've toured all of like the lower 48 states and like yeah, Idaho is like the worst.
They will nail the shit out of you out
Yeah, I
there.
think they're one of the only states without medical.
Yeah,
Yep,
no, again,
yep.
it's very archaic.
Yeah.
Way behind.
Yeah, which I think is crazy because I guess from my coastal elite perspective, convincing people to legalize medical marijuana was really easy.
Yeah. No, for real. Yeah, it's kind of stupid out there.
It's just, they're still in that fucking reefer madness mindset. They think it's
Yeah.
a dangerous drug and it's all about the leadership over there. I'm sure a lot of the residents understand, but I'm sure a lot of them don't too still because they got that
Yeah.
old way of thinking. That's just how
Yeah,
it is out there.
I wonder if it's maybe that Idaho's very Mormon.
I
Like
don't
Utah is also very Mormon, but
Utah's crazy more.
it's more of a hub. It's more of a hub. It's a bigger population center, and I mean I know plenty of people out in Utah who are extremely normal.
Oh, yeah.
I think Boise is a little more like evangelical.
Oh yeah,
It
true.
is so incredibly rural out there. Like whatever you think Boise, Idaho looks like, you're pretty much right.
Boise is like an actual city, and it's actually like a really nice city. But yeah, everywhere around there is just fucking nothing.
Yeah, it's just woods and potatoes.
Yeah.
Well, those people aren't really connected to the rest of the world as much outside of, the internet kind of connects you to your
Yeah.
own circle nowadays. So
Yeah.
yeah, they just don't really, they're not exposed to like places where weed is legal and things are fine.
Yeah. But speaking of like small places that get tour stops, I've noticed more bands like having having dates for like Montana and North Dakota.
Yeah, we played in Bozeman, Montana once,
Hmm.
and that was sick. It was like a DIY, and we had a lot of fun with that. It's always fun finding like B markets, and then the trick is for all of them, you gotta find like a DIY, like a warehouse or a VFW or even just a
Hmm.
house.
The fun place that people just go no matter who's playing because they know it's gonna be fine. And everywhere has a venue like that.
Hmm. How many house shows did you have to do?
Well, you say that like it's like a thing we don't want to do.
Well, I'm just wondering.
On the more recent tours, like very few.
Okay.
We're doing our release show in Philly at a house, but yeah, no, it's because we want to fucking party, we want to smoke weed on stage.
Yeah, true. True. That's the big one. Um,
But I would say it's almost like a strategy, right? Where when you're approaching a new market, a place that you've never been before, a house show is a really good way to lock in a crowd that will be moving and will be having a lot of fun.
yeah. So I wanted to ask, like, I'll limit it to like the last, well, maybe we don't have to limit it. Best touring experience and worst touring experience.
I think our best one was that Froginator tour,
Hmm.
where it's just like every show was a banger, and we just felt like totally on top of the world on that tour. Um, I don't think there was a single show that was like a bad night. And then I think our worst touring experience, I don't want to mention any bands, but um, we did this one tour with like a stoner metal band, and it just like it wasn't announced until like super late, and a lot of the shows were just dead, and uh, yeah, it was just kind of a bust. And that's always the worst when it's like it's really no one's fault except for like the higher ups. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What was your favorite show on the Froginator tour?
The first one in Boise was just unforgettable.
Yeah, that was
Okay.
really special. But Houston also, I think, really stuck out for us. Those
Houston
kids
was
were going
huge.
crazy.
Phoenix and New Mexico.
Yeah.
Oh, you stopped in New Mexico too, because like
Yeah.
it's weird because New Mexico's not a small state population wise. They're
Oh
in the
no.
No,
middle,
it's a big place.
but no one wants to stop in New Mexico.
We love it there. The kids there fucking love us too. Yeah, New Mexico and Phoenix were incredible. Houston was awesome. We did, and the last show in Boston was also
Yeah.
really
Hmm.
sick. Um, yeah, I would definitely say like Boise, Phoenix, and New Mexico, and it always feels a lot better when you're in a place that like is really far from home, because
Hmm.
that's when you really feel like, oh shit, okay, like these we're like bringing 300 people to a place that's like fucking all the way across the country.
Yeah, because like in Boston, you're probably gonna look in the crowd and be like, ah, yes, my my
Yeah,
repeat
they know us,
fans.
right?
Yeah, we know. Yeah, we know everybody.
Yeah, cool. So you have a new album coming out
Yeah.
next week.
Yeah, pull it up. Or there it
Yeah,
is.
Retrodeath.
Yeah, Retrodeath. What do you want to say about it?
It's really fucking good, and you should listen to it.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
there've been a couple singles so far.
Yeah,
Uh,
the response to the singles has been incredible, so I'm really excited to see what people think about the album.
yeah,
yeah, I
it's
was.
definitely it's something a little bit different. I wouldn't say even that different, but it's kind
uh,
of a step beyond what's come out before. Like
Yeah,
all the elements we've had in the past are there, but I think they've all kind of been expanded on.
yeah, we're
Yeah,
leaning into it a lot more.
I think maybe it's because you had Belushi Speedball on a song, but I thought like this is a thrashier album.
Yeah.
That particular song, definitely, yeah. And that's what we were going for with that one. We're very good friends with Belushi, and yeah, like we really wanted to have him on a song.
That's nice. What was it like working with them on that?
Well, we played a bunch of shows together before, and
Oh, okay.
so like when it came to doing a song together, it was like kind of like a no-brainer. Vinny's like an incredibly nice dude,
Such a nice
and
guy.
yeah, it was really easy.
Cool. And are you familiar with the guys in No Mas? Like, are you guys
Yeah,
friends or
we're
is it
Yep.
we
just
tour
like,
with them. We're
okay.
really good friends with those guys. Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know if it was like a tour thing or if it was your label saying like, wonderful news, guys.
Oh no, no, we've known Nomos for a while now. We did a smaller tour with them like last year, where we just played like a bunch of festivals together. Um, yeah, really sick dudes. We're still excited to spend a lot of time with them.
That's good because I walked in like blind to their show when they were supporting Wormrot 2 months
Oh,
ago.
yep, yep.
Yeah, and like I mean, Wormrot was still the star. I love them so much. I'm glad
They're
they didn't
incredible.
actually split up.
Yeah.
But
What
No
I
Mas
love
is
about
really good.
Nomos is what I love about him is like Roger is one of the most like friendly and welcoming presences to have around. And then when he's on stage, he's just like one of the most pissed off looking people I've ever seen.
Yeah, I got like from what I could, he looked like a guy who's just like I can tell there's a kindness behind your eyes, even as he's like
He is
screaming
so
on
nice.
stage. That's
Yeah,
real.
all of those guys are really just fun to be around. I'm really excited to hit the road with them.
Yeah.
Nice. Are any of the other bands like sticking around for the whole tour or just like bits of it? I looked at the
No,
poster and then didn't.
the tour package is just us and Nomods
Okay.
getting a lot of local openers on all the shows.
Yeah, I think I was looking at the Boston poster and I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a homie fest right there.
Yeah. Yeah,
What's
congrats
really
on
great about that is like we have it gives us more opportunity to like play with a bunch of bands.
one thing I was curious about. So this is just a little anecdote from my life. I work at a college. It was earlier this week. I knew we were going to do the interview at some point, and I had to like listen in on on some students like while I was in a computer lab, and they name dropped Bonginator, and I couldn't
Nice.
say
Okay.
anything because like I try to keep this very separate from my job.
Yeah.
So like, what's it like being metal famous?
I really don't think we are. I mean, uh I think I've gotten to the point now where it's like I don't recognize nearly as much as like how I guess like influential I could be, or like how many eyes are on me.
Hmm.
Um, and it's definitely something I've had to get used to. Um, I think I don't know. The main thing is like I'm still like very approachable.
Hmm.
I always like talking to people, and it's cool that my band's name is out there. Um, I think that one thing that with us that is different than other death metal bands is like Bonginator and myself, it's much more of like a name to face relationship.
Hmm.
Like with a lot of other death metal bands, you don't necessarily think of who's in the band, but I've kind of really stapled my face as like what, people think of when they hear Bonginator. Um,
Yeah. Jack, do
which
you
has
have any
its,
feelings on that?
I'd say it has its ups and downs. Um, but you kind of just get used to it. I do like getting recognized at shows, and I do like that I'm able to like just make friends with all these people, and then they recognize me or
Hmm.
um,
It's always really weird for me because like I joined Bonginator a little over a year ago, and before that I was just in bands that were pretty much strictly local. We have another project called Scissor Hash that we took on the road once. Um, But before that, I was just kind of in, just another band basically. So it's still is really bizarre to me if I get recognized by Bonginator or if I'm wearing, one of my Bonginator shirts and somebody clocks it and knows the band, even if they don't know I'm in the band. Just people knowing the band is really surreal to me. And uh, yeah, no, I just try to be really grateful for it because I'm still the same local guy I was before I joined.
yeah.
Nothing's really changed. I just get to do a little bit more now, and I'm very lucky to be able to do that.
Yeah, because like, I'm usually tight-lipped about who I interview, but occasionally I'll drop it to friends who I know don't blab. Um, and like And like for Bonginator, it was either like, oh yeah, Eric's band, or I know Jack from Bonginator.
Oh, sick.
That's crazy. I wouldn't
Yeah, one of
expect me.
the
I'm like the newest guy.
yeah, one of them yeah, like one of my older friends is just like, oh yeah, I know Jack from Bonginator.
That's so funny.
That's sick. I like it a lot when I go to a show, like just a show at like, Middle East or Paradise, and I get
Mhm.
recognized.
Yeah, you were actually
Just
behind
because
me.
it's like I get like a little anxious, and it's
Yeah.
like kind of like an icebreaker.
You were
So then
behind me at Deaf Heaven, I think.
oh, cool. That was a really
And like I did like look behind me and think, oh my gosh, it's Eric from Bonginator. But I wasn't gonna say that because I assumed like hundreds of other people were gonna say that to you.
we're actually like kind of tight with the dudes in Gate Creeper, especially Eric, their guitarist.
Oh, nice.
And there was one moment where like we played Full Terror Assault in Illinois, and I was sitting with the guys in 200 Stab Wounds. Um, and then the Gate Creeper guys came up and were like, "Yo, Eric, Bonginator," and I was like, I like was really confused. They remembered me because I helped them load out for a show in Boston once. And I just remembered that. I think it's really cool that they remembered who I am, and it kind of shows how like really like caring and personable those guys are.
Yeah, I've never
Gate
heard a
Creeper
bad thing
seriously the
about yeah.
coolest dudes.
Never heard a bad thing about Gate Creeper. I like showing up in their little digital photo they do at the end of the night.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't think I showed up for that in the Paradise one, but when they were at the Middle East last year, I did show up in it. I was like way in the corner, but
Deaf Heaven blew me away that night. I'd never seen them before.
oh,
And
this
that
is
was just one of the coolest shows I
they are
coolest
so
bands.
like they are so good live. Like I want to take a dozen Deaf Heaven haters and make them see Deaf Heaven live. But like I've loved Deaf Heaven for a very long time. That's my second time seeing them. The first was at the Palladium, and I liked this one a little better in the sense that like they felt a lot more close. I mean that's really just because the
Yeah,
Paradise is smaller.
I know. I feel that, and their show is just like it's just like sheer volume.
hmm
You're just hit with this massive wall of sound. And it's
Yeah. My only complaint is not the band. It was very hot and sweaty that day.
oh yeah,
That was the most moist and stinky not even just Paradise experience. One of the dampest
it was very
Boston
like
concerts I've been to.
I was very packed in. I was definitely
Yeah.
grinding on some people, where I not intentionally.
Yeah, I've definitely been at those. I'm usually up front, so like I guess I'm generally the victim, but I know it's just how concerts work. And some concerts are just very oversold. What can you do? Sometimes that's nice. So I guess this gets a little personal. Like, is Bonginator the project you wanted to get famous off?
Well, and it's not like I really ever expected it to happen, and it kind of just did. I think after I released Doink City, like people really started to latch onto it.
hmm
Um, and I knew I had something good that people would like with the
hmm
concept and everything. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I never wanted to get famous. I
Okay.
think and I remember distinctly saying to someone when I started it, I was like, I want this to get big enough where I can just sell out like 100 cap venues every
hmm
night on a tour. And like that, but that I was like, that would make me happy. And that's pretty much like kind of where we're at right now.
I was like, oh, that's death metal famous, but that's like for
Yeah.
metal, that's like I know plenty of even like critically acclaimed like well-regarded acts who get like 50 a night.
Yeah.
It can happen. It can happen to anybody. That's the other
hmm
Pretty
thing.
substantial. Yeah. There's like,
That's happened to us.
yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking plenty.
But
Yeah, I think
it's still like a surprise to us when a show does really well. I'll put it
Yeah.
that way.
yeah.
Like it's not like a typical feeling for us.
Yeah, I think what I was thinking, like I've heard people say like I want like I spent so much time on like a very serious like musical endeavor, but it was like a joke song that went viral. And,
Yeah,
Bonginator's a very silly band. And, like, did you ever have that feeling like, oh, I wish something else went viral?
well, yes, yeah, and I'll say in two regards. First, the thing you mentioned before, like a lot of people hate us for that reason, where they're like, well, why does this like meme band get all this recognition, but my serious band that I've worked on for so long not?
Hmm.
Um, and I think it's important for people to remember that just because we are silly and we write about silly stuff, like one, I mean, it's not like we're just fucking around making music. It's, we really do put everything we got into the music. And also it at the end of the day, it requires the same amount of work.
Hmm.
Um, it helps with that initial boost in like grabbing people's attention. But then after that, we're just any other band.
You still have to write the riffs.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
and we still got again like spend all the money, go do all the touring. That's I think one thing that a lot of people miss out on is right when we started, we did like a year of like just straight DIY touring, like yeah, in a minivan, getting out as much as we could. And I mean that was really a huge push in the beginning. Um, but the other thing you mentioned, yeah, I mean that perfectly describes my relationship with 420 pound poop. Um,
Okay.
it was like, I wrote the album and there was just kind of this like burner song that I didn't put nearly as much effort into and was just kind of this dumb caveman knuckle draggy song. And I was like, maybe if I give it a funny name, it'll, attract people. And now it's like our most listened to song. And it's, we're the 420 pound poop band. And, we still play it live and people dig it. I just, kind of wish, there's other songs that I wish would get more recognition.
Yeah, like even off that album, Party Rockers.
Oh, that's a classic.
That one
Yeah.
does get a lot of love too. That's always in the set list.
Yeah. Yeah, because, like, I definitely read some of the negative reviews. It's always like, the fuck are we doing with 420 pound poop?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
this
I
is
know.
this is the dumbest shit I've heard. And yes, it is the dumbest shit I've heard.
Yeah, man. Like what?
I
You
think
think we thought that?
I
was
think
like,
so. I
yeah.
think some of like the notoriety of it. It's like there are a lot of like gore grind and slam and porno grind bands where like they will have the absurd off the wall lyrics, but you can't understand them. And I highly doubt they're actually like gurgling that into the mic.
Oh no, dude.
But no, you can understand Bonginator's vocals just fine. I do not
That's
need a lyric
true.
sheet for this.
Um, yeah, yeah. Again, like, yeah, I never intended that for that song to be like the highlight of the album. I mean, for me, it's obviously "Chopped to Pieces" is like the best song on that album. Um, that's my favorite.
That one's pretty good too. Like 420 pound poop, it's fine, but I also was thinking like it's kind of the most mid riffs on the album.
Exactly
Yeah.
how I feel. I mean, it's like,
Like if it was good riffs, I'd be like, embrace that. Like, I'd tell the haters, like, tell the haters just like pretend you don't know English.
yeah, it's all like the mosh riffs.
Yeah.
It's fun to play live and people dig it live. But yeah, I really never understood why. I mean, I obviously understand why it got, recognized the way it did. Um, but yeah, I just think there's way better songs on that album, and I never wanted it to be that. Like you look us up on Spotify, and it's the first song on there.
Yeah.
Not,
Yeah,
not
actually,
anymore since we've been releasing singles and stuff. But
As far as like listener wise, yeah, it is number one.
yeah, I'm opening up Spotify right now.
It's got
It
like
has like 10, it
236 or
has
something.
10 times the listens
yeah,
of everything else. Like that's some one hit wonder
yeah.
curse.
But yeah, I mean that's hopefully a song on the new album takes its place. That'd be cool.
Yeah. Good. I'll have to listen to the whole album. I guess out of the singles, I like Pizza Time the best.
Pizza
That
Time,
one's really
yeah,
fun.
and it's really
Yeah.
fun. I think it has the most fun riffs to play.
Oh, I can imagine.
My favorite on the new album is probably there's a song, "The Fog." It's about Silent Hill. It's
Ooh,
like
okay.
probably the most like serious one, and it's got like a lot of black metal influence in it. And then there's "Who Let the Things Out," which I've grown to really like because I do a lot of cool like sound design in it.
No, I just like I was like reading the like once the album was announced, like I went to the metal archives and just like made sure the album was actually submitted.
Yeah.
And it's just like I love this how it's like who let the Things 1989 out?
That's
Yeah.
important distinction because there's
Like-
another movie called Things that is very different, but Things 89 is the one the song's about.
And the song before it is about The Thing, which again, very different movie. Things 1989 is like we just did another video. We did another interview earlier today with like a horror movie. That's why I wanted to do this today because Jack was going to be here.
Okay, that's fine.
It was like another horror movie oriented interview, and we talked about Things, and it's just like this shot on video garbage movie. Everyone has to see it. It's so amazing.
It's a true test of metal, making it through the entire film.
Yeah, like I've listened to a lot of death metal about, eviscerating, killing people, but they don't know what true torture is.
If you haven't seen Things, you really
haven't.
don't. It'll change you forever.
I think a lot of people kind of, like you mentioned about like typical death metal lyrics. I think one thing that a lot of people get wrong about this band is that like, we're not being silly because of the like they think of like meme slam bands, and of course the typical judgment is like these bands are only famous because of the meme. They don't actually care about the music, or they're making a mockery of it. But I think like for me, it's just like making jokes and being funny and writing about like silly movies is just way more true to who I am than, writing about fucking whatever, like killing babies or, whatever the fuck death metal bands are writing about these days.
Yeah, I was wondering like if you saw like what kind of artistic merit to humor that you saw, because I didn't go into this thinking like, oh, he's just like memeing out for a quick buck. Like it's not like I knew you that well, but it's just like I feel like this guy is a true clown at heart. It's his true nature.
It definitely like is worth saying. Like if I was doing any of this for, like you said, a quick buck, like I wouldn't be making fucking death metal. That should go without saying.
Yeah, there's this good commentary, like if people like saying like this metal band is an industry plant. It's just like if you want to be planted in the industry, you're not making atmospheric black metal. You're not making doom metal.
Yeah,
you're
people said that about us because I think it had something to do with like our first release was done with Barbaric Brutality.
Okay.
But that's like they're a very small label, and all they do is put out tapes. So like at the time, all they did was put out tapes. So it's really funny to me to think that like this label's planting anyone.
Yeah, you're sipping Hennessy in your short bus with that.
Yeah, like, no, I always find comments like that really funny, and it kind of shows just how like out of touch these people are.
Yeah, like industry planting your way into 16,000 Spotify listeners.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like I'm proud of it, but it's again, nothing to write home about.
Yeah, sure as shit not paying all the bill.
Yeah, it's more listeners than my podcast gets, but
we have to get planted a little deeper before.
Yeah, I think you need to like pull a Celtic Frost and just do a glam rock record.
We're waiting for the Illuminati to put us on a Sleep Token show.
Yeah. Yeah, imagine like there's be like so many guys there bring their girlfriend because that's like the only common ground they can find musically. And
I worked a
Bonginator,
Sleep Token show a few weeks ago, man. That audience looks exactly how you'd picture. People that like want to be into metal and dress like they're into metal, but like if you tried to have a conversation with any of them about anything even remotely underground, they'd be fucking clueless.
I don't totally hate Sleep Token because there is one redeeming quality. They've become the band that people put on to be like, okay, Theo, we put on something that we will all like. It's just like, you could put on a random 80s stuff and I'd probably like it. Like I'm
when
I'm an
Sleep
old
Token came out with Sundowning, me and my friends were listening to it, and I thought it was like really cool and new, and like there's this band like breaking new ground and shit. But then I remember thinking like I really want them to get heavier and lean more into that. But then they just all their music started sounding like Drake.
Yeah, like I I had like mixed but a few positive feelings like about like This Will Be Your Tomb and Take Me Back to Eden. But like I also got like really tired of listening to their songs. Like
Yeah.
I always say like like it's good that people put them on playlists now because it's just like I prefer like I couldn't really get into like like the new metal hard rock post grunge thing as much.
Yeah.
My
Especially
thing
like
with them. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you
yeah.
off.
No, I was pretty much done. It's just like yeah, I like push comes to shove, I'd rather listen to Sleep Token than Linkin Park, I guess.
Hard disagree.
I would pick Linkin Park over.
Park.
I just like I think this might have been because my brother had a Linkin Park phase. So I did not like them.
I love Linkin Park. I go back on that shit all the time.
My thing with Sleep Token is everyone who raves about it is raving about Vessel and Vessel's voice. And there's almost no note of like the music because the music's boring as hell.
I do not like his voice. I'd actually like I like their instrumentals are perfectly fine. His voice is like where I'm lost.
I always seriously admired their production, and not necessarily his voice, but his lyricism is really top notch. And like that, yeah, again, like on Sundowning, it was really impressive. But yeah, like it's way pop marketed now, right? Like you said, it's very like frontman oriented.
It's the Vessel show now,
Yeah,
that's
and, like,
what most of the fans are all about.
Yeah, and like a lot of metal fans will give me shit for this. I fucking love Ghost. Ghost is
cool. Like
Ghost.
like,
I've been on the Ghost train since day one. I'm not ashamed.
I used to be into them a lot more. But I think their main criticism is that like their Scooby-Doo chase music.
Yeah, but like I think they do the whole like they do the whole frontman thing right because I think they just have a more compelling story than Sleep Token.
I mean, that image made me listen to them. You see those guys and you want to check them out. And whether or not you're disappointed afterwards because you were expecting something different than how, the way they dress kind of puts on a different vibe than what they play.
Like
I like spooky riffs. I write a lot of spooky sounding riffs. I have no problem with that.
Yeah, I like Blue Oyster Cult. They sound like
I love Blue Oyster Cult.
A modern Blue Oyster Cult a bit. Also, like, I was never under the impression they were anonymous because, like, basically day one, they're like, this is a Tobias Forga project. And I already loved his stuff. So I'm just like, oh, I'm listening to the new Tobias Forga project, Ghost. I just won't tell people I know. It wouldn't fit on the Ghost tour. I don't even think they have openers anymore. I think it's just the Ghost show.
No, yeah, at this point, probably not.
Yeah. I don't think they have for a while. Like, I've been trying to, I missed my chance to see Ghost in a somewhat affordable venue, so I'm just kicking myself.
I think with their massive set design and everything, it doesn't leave a lot of room for...
Yeah. It's always really weird in their openers for bands that have like a lot of set design because this is like a way different caliber. But Blood Incantation, they had for their Absolute Elsewhere tour, they had like a pretty big stage setup, and I was like impressed to see that in a small venue. And then, but it also meant that their opener Midwife had to she's just a girl with a guitar. She had to she had to perform in front of the obelisk.
I love Midwife, but that was a very interesting pick. And they always, they bring kind of funky people out on tour with them. They just brought Steve Roach out, who I love Steve Roach, one of my favorite ambient
I know
artists.
exactly why they chose Midwife. They're all, the Denver scene is really tight. And Midwife is just friends with all the Denver metal people.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, because, she's been on tour with Primitive Man before, which is actually a little better fit. Yeah, it was, back in 2023. It was, Midwife, Agriculture, Primitive Man, Baroness.
Oh,
just
nice.
such a great combo. But something about our sound works better with Primitive Man. I think because they're both kind of droney.
I was gonna say, yeah, it's a much. I was gonna say a spacier sound, but like big. Blood
Yeah,
Incantation is very intergalactic sounding, but like it's just
yeah,
that huge wall of guitar they
yeah.
both
But
deliver.
but that's your answer. I'm still happy to see Midwife live because I do.
I love Midwife. I
I
still
have like
haven't seen
I,
her.
I have mixed feelings on her music because like some albums are pretty mid, and then something like Luminol is a fucking masterpiece. Like I listen to every time I listen to Luminol, I cry.
Yeah, it's a great album.
Yeah. What would be the weirdest band you guys would love to tour with?
We almost played with this band called Clout Chaser on
Okay.
this tour. They couldn't pull it off, but they're like a two-piece math rock band. Um, and it's really off in left field for us, but like we just really love those dudes and what they're doing. They have an album called Metallica, and the first song is called Enter Sandman. It's really cool, really good stuff.
Yeah, they're funny guys. Well, that would probably be the weirdest, at least that we've looked at,
Yeah.
like math rock. That would be pretty out of place for us, but
Even touring with like grind bands is, sort of out of place.
And speaking of weird genre side quests for Eric, I know that you have an electronic project, 16 Bumps.
Yeah, I do. It's real.
So how'd you get into doing that?
Well, to be honest, that's like mostly what I listen to is like
Okay.
hard style and like really corny EDM music. And then I just started making it and then eventually realized like I can't release this as Bonginator. I can't release this as Scissor Hash. I'll have to like put this out under something new. And I was reluctant about it, but I kind of dig it. And I've been trying to like get on more like raves and stuff and explore that scene more. Um, it's incredibly different from any sort of like industry related stuff when it comes to death metal.
Hmm.
Um, so it's like a lot of stuff that I've had to learn, but yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I had a comment in my notes. Is like, do you think metal guys just like chilling out with synths? Because like I know a few people that have like electronic or ambient side projects. Like
Chilling out
include
with Sids is awesome. It's a really good activity for a lot of
yeah.
people. Um, but I think like when it comes to the kind of EDM I make, it's very similar in that like the main three things are like speed, bass, and aggression.
Hmm.
Uh, and then that's like the same exact criteria for death metal. It's speed, bass, and aggression.
Yeah, because other like electronic projects tend to just like go in the like way opposite direction. Like how like how every dungeon synth artist like used to be in black metal.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, again, yeah, it's just like more true to who I am. It's like what I like to do. Um, Dungeon synth is fun. I like listening to it, but making it can be a little boring, I think. Just for me personally.
Yeah, I think like you have to be comfortable with like having a very repetitive melody.
Yeah, no, I like making like ADHD music, like shit that's just all over the place and like really in your face.
Yeah. I I've tried like I've been on a slow journey of like learning to love dungeon synth. And what I did learn when driving around with my boyfriend, like we had some dungeon synth songs on our shared playlist, and those things make your bass rattle in the car so much.
They can, yeah. But, but I think that has more to do with like the lo-fi aspect of it.
Yeah, that's probably it.
Yeah.
But it's I thought it was cool because like there are some bands like their lo-fi production is so fuzzy I cannot listen to them in the car with it being intelligible.
Yeah, I feel that.
I didn't really understand Dungeon Synth until I saw it live, and I think it was Somber Arcane. They have all like the potions set up, and
Yeah.
candles, and all this atmosphere. I was like, oh, I get it. This is supposed to make me feel like a wizard. Like this
Yeah.
is what this music is for. It's for wizard time.
Yeah, if a band can set up the stage well, like that's like half the appeal.
It
Because
like
I think
totally
like
immersed me.
yeah, I think like the opposite of that. This isn't the fault of anyone, but I saw Mayhem earlier this year. They were on tour with Mortis, and like yeah, it's a whole dungeon synth set at the Palladium. And the Palladium's not built for that.
That's right. Mortis at the Palladium. That's so funny.
He's so little on stage.
I wouldn't expect more. I guess he's like the dungeon synth guy, but I really wouldn't expect him to play that room.
Yeah, I think that's what happens when you are also black metal royalty and you get to be on everyone's tours still.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, there aren't like tons of black metal bands that play the Palladium, but I saw Mayhem there, I saw Emperor there, and those are the big guns. You're not going to see much else.
Yeah.
Cool. I know I mentioned that you're ending your tour with a Boston show. Drop the date and who's playing with you, if you know.
It's December 11th at Sonia,
Mm-hmm.
and we're playing with Retained Surgical Instrument and Wretched Inferno and Groaning Wretch.
Nice. RSI and Wretched Inferno are top-notch picks.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Sonia, congrats on getting Sonia, because like that's a pretty big room.
Yeah, we sold out the upstairs twice, so it kind of just made sense to go to the bigger room.
Yeah. That I know that I've seen like some of the craziest and rudest pits at Sonia.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like of all bands, it was for Coroner, and like those guys, like, yes, they're thrash metal, but they're old.
Yeah.
Like what are you doing trying to have like a front row mosh pit?
There was, I went to see, basically like right after COVID, the first show I went to see was Frozen Soul, Bog, Vomit Forth, and Inoculation. And during Vomit Forth's set, there was like a huge fight that broke out. And it looked a lot like in SpongeBob when two characters fight and it's just like a cloud.
Yeah.
And like every now and again you see like arms and legs sticking out. And it just kind of moved itself throughout the venue. Yeah.
Yeah, Frozen Soul, like the one time I saw them, they encouraged lots of stage diving, which is very fun when you're the person up front.
Yeah. I love Frozen Soul. They're one of my favorites.
They're good.
I think like, at that show, it was very like, it was still at the beginning of this new wave where like all the death metal fans are still getting used to people doing karate.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I think now we're at a point where it's like every sort of pit is cool. And I always try to encourage that. It's like, you know, like I love seeing people fucking wail on each other, but then also it's like no one's too cool for a circle pit.
Yeah.
No rowing. We do not allow rowing.
Can't get into this.
The old, like, yeah, the rowing thing, like, it's either you're at a Monomarth show and you just say, fine, whatever.
If you're at the Viking van, like, whatever, go sit down and row. I don't care.
Yeah. Nowhere else. Like, there's nothing about, I don't even think that you guys have ever mentioned water.
No.
Besides bong water.
Yeah.
We are not a boat-related band. Please don't act like it.
If you're at a yacht rock show, you actually should do that. That'd be really funny.
Dude, I would row at a Steely Dan show all day.
Yeah. If you're at Planet Fitness, they have rowing machines there.
That's true. It's practice for the pit. You know,
Yeah.
I call that pit practice.
Once again, thank you to Bonginator for not throwing my messages in the trash and coming on the show. I'm both flattered by the clout and proud of a locally grown band getting fame and death metal riches through hard work and pure brain rot. Catch them at Sonya in December. I can confirm that Wretched Inferno and No Mas are a delight on stage too. Anyways, I'm Theo Morgan, and have a good night. All right, yeah, pretty cool. Thank you for coming on the show.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Yeah, good luck, safe travels. Although I think you'll probably be killing people in the bus instead. I feel like you got the size advantage on the road.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
We lose to big rigs, though. We lose those fights every time.
Oh, yeah. Although they're not carrying hundreds of pounds of gear.
Yeah, true. But they're carrying like thousands of pounds of like other stuff.
Thousands of pounds of those cables, of those cables.